You know those moments in life when you're pushed to your absolute limit, when you think you've got nothing left to give, and then somehow you find more? There's this hidden well of strength, of focus you didn't even know was there. Well, that's what we're going to explore today, this extra gear that we all have inside of us. We've all been there, right? A moment of crisis hits, your heart's pounding, the world kind of goes into slow motion, and everything is on the line. And in that split second, something just clicks into place. And just like that, you're tapping into a strength you never knew you had. Your focus becomes razor sharp. You move with this surprising sense of calm and purpose. It's in these moments we really learn what we're made of. And it's this hidden power we're going to figure out how to unlock on demand. That's the billion-dollar question, isn't it? Is this amazing power only reserved for emergencies? Or can we actually learn to tap into it whenever we want to make our everyday lives better? Okay, let's dive in and find out. To really get a handle on just how powerful this kind of transformation can be, sometimes it helps to look at a story. So we're going to journey back in time to an ancient one. It's a story about a man who's completely lost in chaos, but really it's a story about the potential that's sleeping inside every single one of us. So this story, it's about a man possessed by what the text calls an unclean spirit. He is the very picture of total turmoil, living way out on the fringes, completely cut off from everyone. I mean, just try to picture the scene. A man so wild he literally lives among the dead. He's got this chaotic, raw strength that's so intense, actual iron chains can't hold him. He's a symbol of an inner world that is just completely untamed and utterly alone. Legion. A Roman legion was thousands of soldiers. So this isn't just a name, it's a description of his inner state. It tells us his mind is so crowded with conflicting voices and forces that he's lost himself. He's completely overwhelmed. But then, the transformation. After his encounter with Jesus, all that chaos is just gone. The people from the town find him, and he is the picture of peace. He's calm, he's present, he's whole again. Just take a second and really look at this contrast. From living among tombs to just sitting. From being untamable to being in his right mind. This isn't just a small adjustment, it's a total reversal. It's an incredible allegory for the idea that no matter how chaotic things might feel inside, that profound sense of peace and clarity is always possible. Okay, so how do we find that kind of focus and peace in our own lives without needing a miracle? Well, it turns out there's a science to it. So let's switch from ancient scrolls to a modern map and check out the science of peak performance. Psychologists have a name for this. They call it flow. You've definitely felt this before. It's that feeling of being in the zone. You're so deep into what you're doing that time just melts away. Your inner critic goes quiet, and everything just feels effortless. This right here is the scientific name for our extra gear. Here's a great way to think about it. If a task is way too easy, you get bored, right? Your mind starts to wander. But if it's way too hard, you get super stressed and can't focus. Performance peaks right in the middle, in that sweet spot between boredom and anxiety. That's where the magic happens. And that optimal zone is exactly where flow lives. It's when the challenge you're facing is perfectly matched with your ability. It's not so easy you're coasting, and not so hard you're freaking out. It pushes you right to the edge of your skill, and that demands your complete, undivided attention. So the big question is, how do we get into that flow state more often? Well, it's not about waiting for some lightning bolt of inspiration. It's really about building the muscle of focus, one small step at a time. And to help us out with that, we're going to turn to the wisdom of author James Clear. Now, this is a real game changer. Peak performance isn't something that just randomly happens to you. It's something you build. Every single day, with every little thing you do, you're getting an opportunity to strengthen your focus and build your capacity for flow. Our lives are really just the sum of our repetitions. Every action we take is like casting a vote for the type of person we want to become. Like Clear says here, you're always reinforcing something. The only question is, what are you choosing to reinforce? This is where it gets really powerful. You forge your identity in the small, seemingly boring moments of everyday life. Every time you decide to do something with just a little more care and attention, you're sending a message to yourself. You're saying, hey, I'm the kind of person who does things well. So the next time you're tempted to just rush through something, maybe pause and remember this. You're not just, washing the dishes or writing an email. You're building who you are. And over time, all those tiny, consistent efforts, they compound into something amazing. Now, we've talked a whole lot about the power of individual focus. But there's another source of energy we can tap into that's just as powerful, and that's the energy of connection. So let's explore how coming together as a community can help us find a collective extra gear. There's something pretty incredible that happens when people gather to celebrate a shared tradition. A fantastic example of this is the Scottish tradition of Burns Night. It's this huge, joyous celebration of the life and poetry of Robert Burns. And get this tradition started more than 200 years ago, when just 9 of Burns's friends got together to remember him. And today, it's a global thing, celebrated all over the world by people who want to connect with that Scottish heritage and spirit. A Burns supper is pure ritual, from the sound of the bagpipes, to the very dramatic reading of a poem, to a haggis, to the heartfelt toasts, and that final hands-joined singing of Auld Lang Syne. Every single step is designed to bring people together and create a shared experience. In that room, something really special is created. You could almost call it a collective flow state. People are united by the food, the poetry, the songs, and they tap into this shared spirit that's way bigger than any one person there. It's another way we find that extra gear, not just inside ourselves, but with each other. So in the end, finding your extra gear isn't about waiting for some big crisis or a special occasion. It really starts right now. It's about the very next thing you do. So the question I want to leave you with is this: what small, ordinary moment will you treat with extraordinary care today?